So again, thank you for coming today. We're really grateful that you took your time to be here with us. Check out some cool products on the market, some options that you probably didn't know about. You might have seen some stuff on social media, but you probably don't know about the color I'm going to show you today. But before we get into the products, the description, the details, the meat and beans, I would be remiss if I didn't introduce my coworkers. I'm going to start with Sven Hoyer. Sven's all the way here from Oberramstadt, Germany, and he's my best friend at the company, so you better be nice to him. No, Sven's been doing floors his whole life, like I have, and like Stephen Young has pretty much, so really experienced team here to demonstrate the products, and just wanted to say thank you to Sven for being here, away from his family, to be here with you guys and us as a team. And next we have Stephen Young, who's new to our team. Very proud to have him on the Berger team. He's going to be a real asset to us and to all the contractors out there that are looking for help with our products, but beyond our products, just how to be more on point with their work, how to do a better job, how to be more profitable. He's the guy. So Stephen covers the Rocky Mountain region for Berger. And my name is Damian Bush. I'm the technical director at Berger. The very first U.S. employee for the company, and it's been a wild ride the last 3 years, but we've sure grown a lot, and we couldn't have done it without customers and contractors. Some of you here today have used our products, and we're very grateful for that, and we couldn't be where we are without you. So again, thank you for being here, and that's the introduction of the team. So now we'll start talking about the products. The first item we're going to show you is a special color from our Express Stain lineup. Our Express Stain lineup is complete with 38 colors. This is familiar technology to you, technology that you know, your dad knows, and your grandpa knows. And that's the good news. This isn't sorcery. You don't have to be a magician, and you don't have to have pain in your eyes to apply this technology. Why is it different from any other stain? Probably the most noteworthy point is that we don't use cobalt as a dryer in the product. So the smell is far less aggressive than maybe traditional stains that you've worked with in the past. So no cobalt in the formula whatsoever. Of course, this product acts as a stain and a sealer in one, so that satisfies one application portion of the job. And of course, all the colors are intermixable. And those distributors that we have that have the Color Master machine can produce any color you see here on demand, on the spot, in any quantity. But you can also custom make a request for a custom blend. So if you want 2 parts of golden oak and you want 1 part provincial, this distributor with the Color Master machine can produce this product on the spot right when you request it. No worries or questions about shelf life whatsoever. So it's really a huge advantage. So we're going to show you Express Stain. Then we're going to show you Nordic White, which is a 1K finish with a high quantity of white pigments inside. And you guys know that the need for a whitened product is really still strong in the market. This is a cost-effective way to whiten the floor, and it's our recommendation to finish off the floor with a different product. So we're really going to show it and talk about it as a color treatment. Even though it is a 1K finish, we're going to show it as a way to color and treat the floor in the first step, and then finish on with something else to complete the project. And then last but not least, we're going to talk about our Green Star, which is the product that most people know us for at this point in the market. I'm going to give you the details on it, and we're going to be putting down the Ultra Matte version of Green Star on top of our neutral or colorless base oil. So that'll be the last one we show you. So, you ready? So Express Stain can be applied in any way you really prefer. Lamb's wool, cut-in pad, rag on, rag off. But today we're going to show you with the buffer. The coverage rate on Express Stain is as you would expect from a solvent-based stain, about 800 to 1,000 square feet per gallon. And today we're showing you the color white oak. And the white oak color, as you will see, is a color designed to leave the wood as an untreated look. So we have many options on the market. A lot of them are great, but this is using old technology to do something that most manufacturers use a water-based finish to achieve. So if you really feel safe and comfortable without using whitened finishes, this is a great option. Someone with a low skill set level can apply this stain, achieve the raw wood effect without much risk at all. So without any help, this stain's going to be dry in 3 hours for overcoating. If you choose to overcoat the floor on a faster way, we have our turbo system, which is part A, our Exablock sealer, and part B, our turbo additive. With the turbo additive and the Exablock sealer, you can overcoat any of our stains, any color, after 2 hours of drying time. But the white oak color dries in 3 hours, so it's really not needed so much in this case. If you read the technical data sheet on our Express Stain, you'll see 3 categories of dry times: 3 hours, 6, and 16. So really just need to check the color you're working with for the appropriate dry time. But again, if you want to bypass all of the dry times, you can go straight to sealing the floor after 2 hours with our Exablock sealer and our turbo. Yeah, just overdo it if you need to. Yeah. That's the point. Steven said, it's hard to see. So, does anybody have any questions about the Express Stain so far? What you're seeing, how it works? Maybe some details about the product at all? No questions? Jason?
The white oak and the base oil and the Express Stain, they'll be the same color.
Yeah. So, Jason's question was, the Express Stain white oak, does it cross over on the base oil side? Not exactly, but yes. We do have a white oak color on the base oil side. So different quantities of pigments. The pigments are the same, but different pigment quantity. But the theme, the story is really the same. Yeah. So step 1 obviously is to apply the stain, and step 2 is to take away the stain. You guys all know this. That's ABC 1, 2, 3 for wood flooring professionals like yourself. Steven basically buffed it in, but he used the same pad to take the excess away. And for the sake of time, we're going to skip that part. But basically, on the job site, you'd apply the stain with the machine or however you prefer, and then you take away the excess. And that's it. So, no questions about the Express Stain White Oak? Does it look like we did anything? That's the point. You can use all of our water-based systems on top of this stain. You can use our solvent oil-based polyurethane over this, and you can apply our hard wax oil by roller on the top of this product as well. So really flexible for all of our coating systems over the Express Stain. No more questions about Express Stain? Okay. So the next product I'm going to tell you about is Nordic White. Nordic White is, let's say, a mid-tier, one-component finish with a lot of white pigment inside. And our theory on whitening a wood floor with a liquid coating is to try and make it easier. It's easier to accomplish, in our opinion, with a finish as opposed to a sealer. A sealer has a really rapid absorption rate, and the finish will too, but the finish is a thicker bodied product and it won't absorb so fast. The other part of our recommendation is to use a very specific roller. So here you have a very thin 5mm microfiber roller. And what happens is with a thin nap on the roller, it will disperse the pigments on a more small, uniform way across the surface. If you use a really heavy-duty roller, like our Deluxe, for example, or any of the other rollers that have a longer nap, it takes a larger piece of the pigment and lays it out. So the optics on the floor when it dries are not as good. It's very powerful, yes, but the product looks much nicer with a thin application. So you'll see Sven roll the product quite thin. Our recommendation is about 600 square feet per gallon, which of course, unfortunately for you to remember, is the opposite of what we teach with water-based coatings in general, where we really want you to roll a good thick coat. So this is going the opposite way. So Sven and Steven are demonstrating how to properly prepare a roller. I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but I have some strong 3M blue tape. Usually would stick the tape on a metal surface for a good hold. And you roll the roller back and forth, making full revolutions. What the tape does is expose any weak fibers that might be in the roller that might come off in the course of coating the floor. What it also does is it brings the fibers from the roller out to a proud position. When the roller comes to you in a box, it might have been sandwiched in with the other rollers, so you might have had a flat spot on the roller. You take it out of the box, you start rolling it, and the roller starts hopping on you. So with using the tape, it pulls all the fibers out nice and proud, and it should roll nice and evenly for you. Bist du bereit? Okay. So really important with the Nordic White is to shake the product very aggressively. Unfortunately, it's always part of training to reinforce the basics. You have a product, shake it. You don't agitate it, you shake it. A lot of white pigments inside. They settle down to the bottom of the jug over time. So it's really important to turn the jug upside down and shake it violently for a good amount of time. One of the nice features about the Nordic White is that you have the flexibility to simply do however many coats you need to achieve the level of white that you're going for. If you want the raw wood look with Nordic White, one coat's going to do really, really nicely. If you want to go with more white, you just add another layer of white. But no need to buy additives, no need to deal with mixing yourself, pigments or tints. It's all in the jug, ready to go. Does anybody have any questions about the Nordic White so far? Sorry?
Cutting in with the right applicator.
Yeah. Okay. So Jason was just saying, and he's right, of course, it's important to match the quantity from the person cutting in the room to the person doing the field. Of course, those rules apply to any coating you use. That's really important. But with a highly whitened system, if you have a heavy spot or a light spot, you have a color difference. That's the truth. So it's important to do really good feathering, but also matching your thickness from the edge to the field. And there you have it. That's Nordic White. You guys can maybe see, I don't know, from where you're sitting, this is already starting to dry. Why? It's a really thin application. That's our recommendation. That's the best way to a raw wood look with only one coat. Again, if you need to do more white, you can be back on it in an hour and a half to 2 at most for another coat to increase the level of white. Very flexible system. But in the end, it is our official recommendation that you would finish the floor with something else. This is a really thin application, and as far as layer building properties, it's not really getting you where we want you to be for a layer of finish. Any questions? Okay. Easy group. Thank you for giving up your lunch hour for us, by the way. Much appreciated. Okay. So now, we want you to see GreenStar. How many of you used GreenStar before? Okay, nice amount of hands. Thank you for that, we appreciate it. How many have heard of GreenStar? Don't know all the details? Yeah? Okay, well you're gonna get the details. GreenStar is not a new product. It came out in 2016 in Germany, and in 2019, it won an innovation award at the Bau-Expo in Munich in front of literally thousands of other producers. Producers like DeWalt and Festool. You name a worldwide producer, they're probably at the Bau-Expo. In 2019, GreenStar won the innovation award. So we're really proud of that. We're proud of this product. We're proud of the chemistry behind it. A lot of people are saying that it's only as durable as a one-component finish. And really, we would take all branding away and never make such a statement. Why? With polycarbonadiamide as the hardener, you achieve a reaction with networking so much stronger than you can with oxygen alone. So, I mentioned the name of the hardener, it's polycarbonadiamide. We are not the only ones producing a product with such a hardener. So, in our feeling, to have such a product that does not use isocyanate is a really positive way forward for our industry and for the people using the product day in and day out. We also use isocyanate in some of our products. It's an accelerant for drying, and really, you have a strong chemical reaction with isocyanate. It's a useful chemical, there's no question whatsoever. But if there's an option on the market for you, for your people doing the work, to be around these chemicals every single day, to have a safer option is a huge win. So there's the bodily health aspect of GreenStar that's really interesting. From a cost perspective, you have a product with an 18-hour pot life. 18 hours. If you mix too much on day 1, you can still use it on day 2, and you're saving money. That's number 2. Then the details just get better and better from there. You have a 48-hour cure time with GreenStar. You have all the sheens you need. Today we're going to show you Ultramat, but you have Your gloss, you have semi-gloss, satin, and ultra matte. So no matter what sheen you need for your project, GreenStar has an option for it. The VOC is low. Some people think, oh, you're saying that there's no VOC. No, there's absolutely a VOC content to the product. That's not our message. It's around low 200 range, okay? So it's the hazard labeling associated with isocyanate that this product avoids. So with this product, according to the safety data sheet, you do not need to wear gloves or eye protection to work with it. That's a statement for you. So we're not saying it's perfect. We're saying it's really a step in the right direction with occupational exposure to the products day in and day out. On the cost side, contractors are paying for this product about $139 for the 1.5 gallon kangaroo jug. The math comes out to low 90s per gallon. So for the year in 2024, we're offering you one of our signature products for the price in the neighborhood of a 1K finish. So really no reason not to try it from all the reasons I just mentioned to you. But for contractors, probably the best reason to use it's not even the price break. It's the user friendliness of the product. Well, of course, that's an overplayed expression. Everybody's products are user friendly. And for the most part, that's really true. Everybody's products are user friendly. But this one takes the cake. So you just have to try it to see. And if you want someone to speak about the product, there's plenty of people here that use it every day that have switched from something else because it makes their life easier. That's the simple message about GreenStar. So if you have a customer that's really green focused, you can tell them this product without isocyanate does not off-gas CO2. So it's not a buzzword for me, it's not a phrase for me that I really get hung up on, but some people, that's really important to avoid the CO2. With isocyanate, you have CO2 off-gassing. With GreenStar and a polycarbodiamide system, you have no CO2 off-gassing. The product is ready to go for sport floors. It's FIBA certified in Europe, and very, very soon, if not already, it's going to have a MFMA certification for sports floors here in the United States. Why does that matter? In the sports floor world, you need a finish that's flexible, and isocyanate finishes are not so flexible. Eventually, they stretch, they tear. That's the nature of it. But GreenStar is a more flexible product. So in the sport floor world, we're really excited for that to take center stage. GreenStar is also cork floor certified, sweat and saliva certified, and also kids toy certified. What does that mean, kids toy certified? What it means is if the kids' toys are on the surface constantly for hours at a time, and the kid puts the toy in their mouth, there's no chemical or plasticizer migration from the product that would hurt them if they put the toy in their mouth. That's what that means. So the finish is mixed at a 10-to-1 ratio, like most of our product. Sven has already pre-measured with our mix bottle, and without further ado, he's going to apply the product on the panel with our universal roller. Yep. Thank you, Sven. So the other interesting innovation about the GreenStar is that we call it the kangaroo pack. Why do we call it the kangaroo pack? The hardener fits into the back of the jug on the back side, so you don't have to worry about losing your hardener or forgetting it in the truck or whatever. It's always going to stay with the main bottle. Oh, more. Always more. Always more finish. So Sven's going to get his roller saturated really nicely. And then we're going to talk about quantity. We brought a German to put the finish down because only a real German would appreciate how much finish you should be putting down on the floor. And really, all jokes aside, these rules apply to any of the great coatings that are in this building today. They should all be applied with special circumstances on the side at a good quantity. Why? Why is the finish quantity So important. Why do we spend so much time talking about it? Don't forget, with a higher quantity of finish on the floor, you give the product a chance to overcome the pattern that the roller is going to leave in it initially. So the product is more forgiving if you have more quantity on the floor. It can flow and level into itself quite nicely with a high quantity. If you have a thin quantity and you make a mistake, the mistake dries very fast in place. It has no time to flow and level out. So with a thick quantity, you have a more forgiving result. But perhaps, in my opinion, more importantly, with a thick quantity on the floor, you're always going to have a better chemical resistance. Your customers are constantly spilling stuff on the surface. And if there's not a good quantity on the surface, some of these chemicals can leach through and create problems. So if you don't have the right quantity on the floor, you can have problems chemically. What we officially recommend for our coatings is no less than 120 microns wet each coat. And we're going to show you, we have a tool that we give away to contractors. Any of you here can come to the booth and get a coat controller. What you have here is basically a gauge. And the teeth on the gauge are all set at different heights. And so you're simply going to tap the card down in the values from 25 to 150. And you basically want the tooth representative of 125 or 100, we recommend 120, to at minimum hit the finish. If you don't hit it, simply put more product on the floor. If you're doing a commercial application, like a bar, a restaurant, a lawyer's office, whatever, we recommend to coat it at 150 each coat wet. Keep in mind, and don't forget, 60% of everything you put on the surface of the floor will evaporate with a water-based finish. 60% of everything you dumped out will evaporate, leaving you with only the dried film. So 3 coats, 150 microns is going to net you the proper thickness at the end. Okay. Did you check it? How many? Okay. So he's a little over 100. Okay, the German has let us down. Normally we would put more finish, but I think we've taken up a lot of your time today. So we wanted to scoot through, finalize things, answer any questions that you might have. Does anybody have any questions for the group? Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming today, spending the time with us. We really appreciate it. And thank you to the guys here. If you want to talk privately, please visit us. 1738 is our booth. Really appreciate you being here.